Is it all up and running now? I think I might be good. Alright. Okay. So, this is the plan. First tier list we're doing, this is the plan. First tier list we're doing, which stock photos have the best chances of taking down the gorilla? Alright? I will be ranking them on everything. Their sheer aura, their willpower, their known abilities, just everything. First up is Don't Hurt Me, Harold. I'm not sure where it... Oh, I should probably create tiers, actually. Up here is it takes 100 gorillas to take them down instead of 100 of them. Down here at C is 100 of them to take it down. And we take down 100 of them for gorilla. Up here, I'm going to put them, maybe, what should I put? Yeah, let's go! So, up here is they could take on 100 gorillas solo. Down here is it would take 100 of them to take down one gorilla. What should I make the A tier? A and B tier. Maybe 1v1 the gorillas. Yeah, 101, 1v1. Yeah, right here, 1v1 the gorillas. They can take one gorilla, but they'd both be, like, down for the count after it. Down here, I would say it takes maybe 20 per gorilla. I think that's fair. I think. And then down here is Don't Hurt Me, Harold here. Because I feel like he's just going to roll over and just accept his fate. It's going to be tragedy. This man, the sheer amount of aura this man has going on for him is insane. Like, look at him. He's shoving a baguette all the way through his face. Okay? The amount of absolute willpower that you need to shove a baguette through not only a human skull, but your own skull is insane. Oh, okay. That good? We all good on the music now? Alright, sweet. Anyway, the ability to shove a baguette through any object, it seems like, you know, just power scaling. I think he beats Homelander, so I think, you know, if he can get a baguette, and, you know, if he can get a baguette, I think he can use his hacks abilities in order to successfully 1v1 the gorilla. I don't think it will be easy, but I think it will be powerful. Extremely powerful as a weapon to fight the gorilla. This man has critical mental illness, it seems like. He's just covered in spaghetti. So, I don't think he'd be able to 1v1 the gorilla. I don't think he'd have enough organized strategy or brain power for that. Yeah. I don't think he'd have enough brain power to successfully take down a gorilla in a 1v1. But he does have the insanity buff, so I think it might take 20 per gorilla. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. This dude, I think it's pretty easy. He has a gun. Actually, let me do some research. Oh crap. Okay. Anyway, this dude has a gun. So, gorilla versus gun. The gun would likely win. Okay. I think... I don't think he has enough ammo to take on 100 gorillas. I think they would manage to beat him before He managed to take down the 100 gorillas necessary. This is the Velvet Room theme, I think. I was playing Persona 5 Royal the other day. That was, well, not the other, it's been like a couple weeks since I've actually played Persona 5 Royal. But I think this is the Velvet Room theme. So is it same across all of them? All the Persona games? I don't know, I've never played Reload. Anyway, this is a child. He would likely get his crap beaten in. I think it would take 100 children per gorilla, right? Because it's a small child versus a gorilla. I don't think 20 of them are even going to take it down. So I'm leaning towards the 100 of them per gorilla. That's what I'm thinking. This looks like some sort of fancy futuristic visor. And, you know, the corn is on screen. So I think this lady could use her advanced future technology, just completely wipe gorillas from the face of existence, from ever existing. So I think she could not only take on 100 gorillas, I think maybe, just maybe, add row above, I think she could go in a whole new tier, gorilla extinction, I think. Yeah, she'll just erase them from the timeline. This is a lady kissing a fish. 100 gorillas, no explanation. Anyway, this is a doctor. She could definitely, I could see R.I.P. gorilla kind, yep. Complete gorilla extinction. What are gorillas? I don't know, they never existed. Anyway, this lady is a doctor, therefore she has access to all of the drugs needed to defeat gorillas, including the steroids, and different like poisons and things. So what I'm thinking is, you know, you could make an argument for a 1v1 depending on how she feels about human experimentation and how willing she is to use the drugs on herself. But I would argue this: it'll take a lot of time to actually inject herself with all the drugs needed to take down the gorilla. So I'm thinking if we just get 20 of them in the room, they could take down the gorilla. But in a 1v1, I don't think she's getting the time enough to set up the buffs. This is a construction worker. I don't know where exactly he should land, but I do know, however, that, you know, Bob the Builder, as we all know, could defeat Homelander, because Homelander gets dogged by everybody, ever, in existence. But anyway, he's a builder. So, I'm thinking maybe he can construct some sort of megastructure in order to just completely, like, collapse right on top of the gorillas. That's what I'm thinking. Some sort of megastructure that he could just strategically place bombs along, that he could take down 100 gorillas at once. Of course, that brings in the Batman argument. He does not do well if he does not have prep time. Doctor, with prep time, what is upgraded to 1v1ing a gorilla. I don't think she could take down 100 gorillas. I think she overdoses before she takes down 100 gorillas. But, given prep time, the construction worker is either taking on 20 per gorilla because of the power tools, or 100 gorillas because he can create a structure. Bob the Builder would murk 90% of gorilla population. Yeah, yes, I entirely concur. This is one of Bob the Builder's disciples, it seems like. He doesn't have Bob the Builder's signature yellow construction hat, he only has a blue construction hat. So, what I'm choosing to believe is that with prep time, you know, Doctor 1v1s, while the construction man completely dogs 100 gorillas. But with even more prep time, more than honestly is reasonable, he could get upgraded to gorilla extinction. So 0 prep time, I think it's 100 of them per gorilla, or maybe 20 per gorilla. But with a reasonable amount of prep time, 100 gorillas. With an even more unreasonable amount of prep time, gorilla, he gets upgraded all the way to gorilla extinction. So right now, I'm going to go ahead settle him in 100 gorillas tier. And because we gave him prep time, we're also giving the doctor prep time. So she moves up from 20 per gorilla to 1v1ing a gorilla. Next up is the nun riding atop a man. I have no idea why this exists. Anyway, the sheer amount of aura and power from her just riding atop a man while she's in heels and he's in a suit, I think that just sheer amount of aura puts her all the way up into 1v1ing a gorilla. But I don't think she goes up into 100 gorillas tier, because once they figure out that she's, without her mount, she becomes powerless. Well, Canadian Mounted Nun Force. Ooh, the Mounties, yeah. The Mounties, that would move them all the way up to gorilla extinction. But we're trying to find a threshold, 1v1, 1 per gorilla, 100 gorillas, and all gorilla kind, or it takes 20 of them per gorilla, 100 of them per gorilla, or it's Don't Hurt Me Harold 2, where I don't think they're killing anybody. Or Don't Hurt Me Harold is just too depressed to do anything. Me personally, I think you could maybe make an argument for 20 per gorilla, but I'm thinking she moves up to 1v1 tier through the Holy Light of God or something, I don't know. This is in no particular order, just the order that the images show up down here. Anyway, so this lady has 2 guns, at least I think. I think she's holding a gun in the other hand. So maybe with that extra buff, she moves all the way up to 100 gorillas. Because his problem was that he only has 1 gun, so the gorillas could get at him while he reloads. But this lady has 2 guns, so while she's reloading 1 gun, she can keep firing. That is at least my current theory for how she pans out against the gorillas. And obviously, Walmart Juanita Wick, yeah. She's honestly, if she was John Wick, she would move all the way up to the top of gorilla extinction tier. But no, for right now, she only gets 100 gorillas because we don't know her current training. Oh yeah, gorilla extinction tier. But yeah, for now, she only gets 100 gorillas. Yeah, we don't know her training. We don't know if she has the same amount of training as the Baba Yaga. Okay, this is a child, but the difference between this child and this child is that he is quite intelligent. Look at him. He has a mustache and a laptop. So, he could use his economical powers in order to hire mercenaries in order to 1v1 the gorilla. But he has even more economical power because of the stat buff from the wet hair, from the neat and tidy hair. So I think you could make an argument for him defeating 100 gorillas. Or if you give him even more economic power because of his button-up and his shirt, you could move him all the way up into paying the entirety of the world's government in order to put extinction to gorillas once and for all. So I'm going to put this boy into gorilla extinction tier, at least. Any rejections of this notion of this boy becoming gorilla extinction tier? Gorillas also have hair, though. They'll be used to it. No. What I'm saying is he has, neat hair. His hair is neat and tidy. Gorillas, as so far as we know, do not currently have the capability to style their hair in such a way as this, where he only has a really clean mustache and a really clean haircut. Gorillas groom each other. Oh, gorillas. Let me see. Gorilla grooming. Grooming. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think that debuffs him a little bit, because now he's fighting on an equal playing field. So I'm thinking that if he does not have access to the suit and tie buff, he goes down to 1v1ing the gorilla as per the previous mercenary round, but he doesn't get as much financial power. Exactly. Okay, we can agree. But again, if he has prep time, he could make it all the way up to Gorilla Extinction tier, but again, you could make the same argument for the builder, so I'm thinking he remains in a 1v1 tier. This lady is deep in thought, so you could make a similar argument for her. Well, watch it closely. Yeah, he's watching the start. Yeah, we'll watch it. Yeah, we all will. Anyway, this lady is thinking. Thoughts are on her mind. But she doesn't have the innate financial buffs that this boy gets, but she is a thinker. So I'm thinking she knows enough how to strategize, but I don't think she has the physical stats to take it on her own. So I'm thinking we put her in 20 per gorilla, because that gives her enough manpower to strategize with the other copies of herself in order to successfully take down the gorilla. For now, I don't think she has the physical stats in order to take down the gorilla. No. The doctor, the male counterpart to this doctor. Honestly, look at his stance. He's not as carefree. He's more tense. He's more intimidated by the elite mastermind, perhaps? Free. Yep, 100%. This man right here, I'm currently thinking it takes 20 per gorilla, because look at his stance. He is weak. He is a weak man. He is intimidated by the gorilla. This woman hears nothing. Her stance towards the gorilla is carefree as ever, so she gets an innate intimidation buff in order to 1v1 the gorilla. This man, he does not get the innate intimidation buff by nonchalantness because he's all formal and crap. So, I think we put him in 20 per gorilla because he does not have the lackadaisicalness that she does, implying that she is more powerful in a similar... the stare down buff, exactly. It's like getting intimidated in D&D, right? Or in... being intimidated in Pokemon, right? Intimidation lowers your physical offense. And she has the intimidation buff because of her... Well, for intimidation, yes. Yeah. But no, she applies that debuff, but he does not have such debuff. So, I'll go back through and rank them in order later. But for now, we move on to the next, which is this spider boy. Actually, that's 10 limbs, so that is not a spider. What it... Okay. This is where we have to make a decision about power sets. Because I'm thinking, if he does not have the ability to stick to walls, like if he doesn't have high mobility, I'm thinking he goes down to 20 per gorilla, because he does get that extra manpower. He doesn't go down to this boy's tier, but if he does get the ability to stick to walls, then I think his superior mobility will actually allow him to 1v1 the gorilla, just like crawling all over the gorilla, right? Just using the gorilla's fur as like handholds to just scurry around the gorilla. That is what I'm thinking. So, if you give him the ability of high mobility due to his arms, then he goes up to 1v1ing the gorilla, I think, because then he can just use his 8 thumbs in order to press out the gorilla's eyes. But if he does not have that innate mobility buff, he goes all the way down to 20 per gorilla, or even maybe 100 of them per gorilla. Those arms do not look strong, but that's still more arms. I'm going to put him... what do you think? Should we put him in a 1v1 or 20 per gorilla? I'm leaning a little bit more towards 20 per gorilla, but I want to hear your argument for 1v1ing him. The Sherlock's home discombobulate theory is OP. But it's discombobulate. just hit them on the side of the heads, rupture their eardrums or whatever. So let me get this. Let me just understand this real quick. You're arguing for him to be put into the 1v1 because he can do the he has 4 attempts at discombobulation per swing of his arms. Because, yeah, okay, 1v1ing? Alright. This is a man who looks like he belongs in American Psycho. This man has a 40-step skincare routine. He cleans his glasses every day like a freak. But yeah, I don't imagine that lends himself particularly well to physical stats. Now, if he could talk to the gorilla, if he could speak gorilla, I think that bumps him up all the way to perhaps 1v1ing the gorilla. But if the gorilla can't understand him, which I don't think it will, I don't think the average gorilla can understand English. I think, is that racist? I don't know. I don't think the average gorilla can understand English. I think it is 100 of him per gorilla. This terrifies me. I think we have our second, surely, our second gorilla extinction one, because of the mob psycho, what's it called? The mob psycho broccoli, versus Dimple fights. God Dimple versus the broccoli. God Dimple is incredibly powerful. He had all of Mob's powers, who himself is a city collapsing psycho. But he does not have the same sort of reach. But he still got pretty much dogged in the fight versus the broccoli. I'm not sure if I can show this on stream. I think I might get copyright stricken if I try to show it on stream. But anyway, yeah. No, the divine tree, absolute, yeah. Just, the broccoli was incredibly powerful. So, I'm putting broccoli, he gets that innate broccoli buff, and he doesn't need any time travel, so I'm thinking he even goes above the future lady. So I'm thinking he gets put all the way in gorilla extinction tier. We are getting another superpowered individual with giant hands this time. Those tiny he looks like a gorilla fused with a human from those big arms. Oh, this is basically child Popeye, just big arms. So what we are currently doing at the moment is a gorilla versus stock photo tier list. They're all tiered on how well they would do against the gorilla in the 100 men versus a gorilla argument. Up here is it would take 100 gorillas to take them down. This lady is in here basically. Yeah, they're all placed well. This is the 1v1 tier. I can't hear you here with the music, it's loud. Oh, still loud? Okay. Let me just turn it down over here. How's this? How's that? I turned it down a few decibels on OBS. I'll turn it down over here slightly too. But anyway. This means it would take 20 clones of this person in order to take down one of the gorillas. This means that it would take all 100 of them to take down the gorillas. And down here is Don't Hurt Me Harold, because he would not he would not have the motivation to take down a single gorilla, I think. Anyway. Right, anyway, back to Child Popeye. Popeye, as we all know, is one of the most powerful characters in fiction. He survived, God turning off the universe. Like, switch. Where is it? Basically, God turned off the universe, just temporarily, and Popeye was the only survivor. So, I think that if this is indeed the child version of Popeye, that they get moved all the way up to Gorilla Extinction tier. And, again, honestly, above even Broccoli Man. We're down to our last person, and you know, the stock photo makes me feel like that is a very caring person. Sounds like he's turning off gorilla kind, yeah. Yeah, like, that is just one of Popeye's many durability feats. He's also insanely fast and insanely strong, so I think Child Popeye goes even above Broccoli Man. This is one that's a little hard to determine, just because I don't know exactly what the image is telling me. Personally, I think that this image is telling me of a very kind and careful person. What about Shaggy and Scooby-Doo? Shaggy and Scooby-Doo are also incredibly powerful. Listen, anytime that there's a cartoon character, then they pretty much automatically get put up into Gorilla Extinction tier because Toon Force is insane. Toon Force just has an absurd ability to make anything an unfair fight. But anyway, back to this person. This implies to me that they are a very caring individual. So, that is a charisma buff. I think that you could make an argument for a 1v1 of them, but if you can't talk to the gorillas, same as this guy down here, who, if you can talk to the gorillas, also goes up to 1v1 tier, then I think, so this guy, if you can't talk to the gorillas, this guy goes down to 100 of them per gorilla, and this guy, because, I can't tell that, oh, that's an extreme amount of money. That is money stacks, okay. Those are stacks of money. I think, where's the Child Genius? The Child Genius also has extreme amounts of money because he looks so formal and smart and intelligent. So you could make the same arguments for him as you could for this man holding his money like a child. Except I think you could do this one better because he also has the charisma buff. So I think you could also put him into 100 gorillas tier. But if you don't think you can talk to him, then it just goes down to 1v1 tier. Those are my current thoughts on which stock photos get which tiers. That's what I'm thinking. Gorilla Extinction, 100 gorillas, 1v1 20 per gorilla. Okay, so now time to rank them within their own ranks. I've already done that with Gorilla Extinction tier, because Toon Force, then Broccoli, then you actually need time travel to make her Gorilla Extinction work. 100 gorillas. I'm thinking that the fish-kissing lady is the most powerful member of the 100 gorillas tier, but you could also make an argument for her being at the bottom of 100 gorillas tier. Either way, I don't think she makes out of 100 gorillas tier. I think the construction worker could take on more than 100 gorillas, but I don't think he gets enough capabilities in order to be moved up to Gorilla Extinction tier. And this lady, she just doesn't have the same capabilities of Gorilla Mayhem as the construction worker does. So I'm thinking she falls just below the construction worker, but just above Fish Kissing Lady if you underestimate Fish Kissing Lady. 1v1. Me, personally, I'm thinking man with gun, then doctor lady, then dude with carrying a bunch of money. Then after that, I'm thinking baguette man, slightly below the two investors. As for the Spider-Man, the Spider-Boy. Sorry, I missed a couple streams. My head's work. How was Cyberpunk? Did you beat it? No, Cyberpunk is a long game. It's very dense with stuff to do. So no, not yet. It's going to take quite a few more streams to beat it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking that Baguette Man is slightly more powerful than the pseudo spider. I'm thinking, honestly, the Canadian nun mounting is at the bottom of 1v1 tier. Because she succeeds similarly to Dr. Lady, where she has the intimidation buff, but she doesn't have the raw drug stats, the drug buffs that Medical Lady gets. Now down here, there's Spaghetti Man. I'm thinking Spaghetti Man goes to the top of 20 per gorilla tier because look at this man and tell me that he is sane in the head. I think he would just go dog wild on the gorilla, but I don't think he has the physical stats to make it up to 1v1 tier. So I'm thinking he is in 20 per gorilla tier, surely for the fact that this man is not mentally stable. This woman, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. She is mentally stable. So she gets slightly below Spaghetti Man. And then Doctor? Ooh. Okay. This depends on how you power scale it. Do you think the insanity buff or the drug buff is more impactful to fighting gorillas? What do you guys think? Because I'm not sure whether I should put insanity buff or drug buff insanely high. Me, personally, I am thinking potentially this. About equal, yeah. So this could be an interchangeable slot, but either way, she is too mentally sane and does not have enough drugs in order to ascend the drugs and insanity buffs. So she's at the very bottom of 20 per gorilla tier. Now we come to the debate. Which is more powerful? A small 8-year-old boy who thinks he's swag because he got his first $20 from the Tooth Fairy? Or this man who obsessively brushes his teeth only to keep up perfect appearances in an American Psycho style way? That is the current question. Honestly, I'm thinking that maybe the American Psycho is only managing to get, I think he's at the bottom of 100 of them per gorilla tier. That is what I'm currently thinking. And then obviously, Don't Hurt Me Harold is, he's the only one in Don't Hurt Me Harold tier. But yeah, no, that's about it. So I'm just going to quickly take a screenshot of that. And there. Alright. So, from here, we move on we move on to something else. We move on to video game characters versus I'm thinking video game characters versus the gorilla. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Video game. Let's go Animal Crossing characters. Yeah. Animal Crossing. Yeah. Animal Crossing. That is a lot. Let me see. Animal Crossing. That is too many. Too many. Let me see what to do. New Horizons, Gyroids tier list. I don't know what Gyroids means. All Animal Crossing New Horizons villagers as of 2.0. Pocket Camp. Every animal ever. Okay. Maybe species. No, I don't think pictures. Popular, let's go with recent. Let's search recent. Nope, let's not go with recent. More... What? Anime characters skills. Okay, anime... Anime... AOT characters, okay. That's a bit more specific. AOT, characters, okay. Okay, here. I will warn you guys though, you're going to have to inform me of some of these people because I have not watched Attack on Titan. So anyway, when you're dealing with anime characters, I feel like all of them could, in this world, all of them could probably 1v1 the gorilla. So I'm thinking instead, we make it, Gorilla Grodd. The psychic gorilla from DC, who is insanely strong. That is Lex Luthor right there in a power suit dealing with Gorilla Grodd. He has telepathy. Because I feel like putting them against a regular gorilla just wouldn't be fair. I feel as though they would pretty much any of these people. I don't know them all, but I see a lot of them in those military uniforms. So I feel like most all of them could probably take down the gorilla. So putting them up against Gorilla Grodd. Let's just keep this over here as reference material. You need to watch the anime Trust. I have not taken a lot of time at the moment. I need to do that. But anyway, currently, okay. So, this is Arnold or whatever, right? I don't know. I don't know much about him. I know maybe he cries sometimes, and that's about it. So I'm thinking... Armin. Okay, Armin, not Arnold, sorry. Up here, again, is Gorilla Extinction tier. And from Bronze, all of Gorilla City. All of Grodd's Gorilla City. Genius and Courageous. Oh. Okay. That might make me rate him maybe a bit higher than I would. This is, again, Gorilla Extinction Tier. This is him taking down all of Gorilla City, which is where all of the psychic gorillas live in DC. Down here is just Grodd's army. Grodd's army. Down here is Grodd. And then D tier, all the way down here, I think is probably going to be random psychic gorilla. This is going to be tough if you haven't seen it. You need to go to it. That's probably fair. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I watched like the first 5 seasons of MHA. It'll be fine. MHA characters. MHA. Do you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I do like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think it's one of the best comedies. I mean, that's MHA character costume. This is MHA characters. What? Okay. Up here is Gorilla Extinction. Down here again is them taking down all of Gorilla City. Down here, Grodd's army. Down here is just Grodd. Down here is random psychic gorilla tier. Down here is regular gorilla. And I think that should about cover it. Okay. Let's see. So, first, we got Twice. I'm not sure why he's first in this, but alright. Wait, why are there 2 Aries? Alright. Okay, so Twice. I do not think he beats... I think he beats a random psychic gorilla, but I do not think he beats Grodd. All Might should be excluded. Here's the thing about All Might. I don't... Does he have... Does All Might have mental resistances? I'm not sure about that. Does All Might... Because, again, he's going on with psychic gorillas. Does All Might have psychic resistance? Does he have psychic resistance? Doesn't have any psychic resistance feat. Okay. Okay, most of these characters won't have any psychic resistance feats because I don't think there's any major player in MHA that has any sort of psychic abilities. So I'm going to put them up against, like, I'm going to say that Grodd is using, like, a psychic blast and not, putting, and just kind of not putting up, like, he's not mind controlling anyone, you know? I think that's fair, because there's no psychic stuff going, there's not really any psychic stuff going on in MHA. He has, like, the soul stuff with, being a wielder of One for All. Anyway, Twice, again, I think is taking on a random psychic gorilla, but I don't think he's taking on just Grodd himself, because, Grodd is manipulative, he's extremely scary, he also just has better physical feats than Twice, so far as I'm aware. So far as I'm aware. This is all, remember, subjective. So the Psychic Gorilla is going to, I think, twice will beat up the Psychic Gorilla really well, really easily, but I don't think he's taking on Grodd. Now we move on to the protagonist. I'm not sure why this was in the order that it was in, but I'll take it, because the other ones had like, 150 something characters. That was a lot. We move on to the main character. I'm thinking he maybe takes on all of Grodd's army. No, I'm thinking he takes on the entirety of Gorilla City. That is my current theorem at the moment. He takes on all of Gorilla City, because he scales, by the end of the series, he scales like at Prime All Might level. So I'm thinking he takes on all of Gorilla City, including Grodd, with one really good smash. I think he'll do it, just barely, but I think it's possible. Bakugo has, explosions, really good. He's also extremely fast. He has really good speed feats because he's just launching himself everywhere. So, I think he takes on the entirety of Grodd's army. I'm not sure if he's taking on the entirety of Gorilla City. Just because, I don't think he's going to manage to, wipe out, a mile. He doesn't have the same, capabilities of Midoriya, where he's wiping out, 18 square miles in a single blow, right? Because there was that one, Shigura... What was it? Because Stars and Stripe, Punch. Stars and Stripe Punch, left, this giant explosion, and she does not scale to Prime All Might. She does not scale anywhere close to Prime All Might, even though she's constantly using one of her rules on herself. Midoriya does scale to Prime All Might, so I'm thinking he goes on to Gorilla City, while Bakugo is probably taking on Grodd's army. Todoroki, I think he scales about equally to Bakugo. I'm thinking he has a lot of versatility and utility in his powers. I think, I'm thinking he could definitely take on the entirety of Grodd's army. But I don't think he is going on to fight all of Gorilla City like Midoriya can. And honestly, I'm not sure if anyone here reaches Gorilla Extinction. Ooh. Overhaul. Overhaul could be really good. Overhaul could actually be Gorilla Extinction. I think, just because of the versatility of his powers, I think Overhaul might... I think he might be one of the few candidates for Gorilla Extinction. Anyway, this lady, Toga, right? Toga, she has the ability to shapeshift, and gain the powers of anyone she shapeshifts into. Okay, so she has, Ochako's blood on her, always. So I'll scale her, about as high as Ochako, which I think is... I'm thinking she takes on a Psychic Gorilla, because she does not have, so far as I'm aware, again, I don't remember much. So far as I'm aware, does not have amazing durability feats. Ochako durability feats. There. withstand significant physical strain. Durability, multi-city block level. Okay. Multi-city block level. Multi-city block level. If we're saying Toga, I'm thinking they both move up to Grodd tier. And honestly, I didn't realize how MHA characters were scaled insanely well. So I'm thinking that, twice. Twice durability. Let's see. Increased damage and enough to take Cone out. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking twice will stay at Psychic Gorilla. I think Grodd's too smart yeah, I'm thinking Grodd himself is too smart for twice, but I'm thinking if you put twice up against any random Psychic Gorilla, I think twice beats them. I think Kirishima goes into a similar tier. I think he might have a chance against Grodd. The reason I say that is because he has his, like, unbreakable form, where he is just completely immune to damage for pretty much all time, right? So I'm thinking that you could make an argument for Kirishima going all the way up into fighting Gorilla Grodd tier. Denki Kaminari. Yeah, no, I don't think I can put him up into Grodd tier. I don't think there's any way. I think he's similar to Twice in that he's taking on he's taking on a random Psychic Gorilla and winning, but I don't think he's taking on Grodd himself and winning. Eri. This feels weird to include Eri. I'm going to move her to the bottom because she does not fight. Who else doesn't fight? Let me see. There's a copy of Stars and Stripe. You don't fight? Let me see. Yeah, I think these four are about it from what I want to exclude from the tier list, because Stars and Stripe is a duplicate. This kid, the little kids don't fight. So that's what I'm currently thinking. Shinzo. I think he goes up. No, I don't. I think Grodd is probably going to have a lot of mental resistance because, like, he is the psychic gorilla. So I'm thinking he goes into psychic gorilla tier. I don't think he goes into normal gorilla. I think he avoids normal gorilla tier because of his training with Aizawa, making him, like, actually physically capable. So I'm thinking he moves all the way up into psychic gorilla tier. And can Aizawa completely just shut off the psychic gorilla's psychic powers? I'm thinking he does. In that case, I think he beats Grodd himself. I'm not going to move him all the way up to Grodd's army, because that's a bunch of gorillas. Grodd, Aizawa has shown, like, he's not, like, superhumanly fast or strong or anything, like, compared to us humans, but, like, compared to Gorilla Grodd and all the psychic gorillas, I don't think he's taking on more than one. I'm thinking he takes on a random psychic gorilla. I'm thinking he takes on Grodd. I don't think he's taking on any more than one at a time, though. Tetsu. Okay. He can turn into steel. Okay. He can turn into steel. And he can potentially, if he finds a heat source, heat himself up for, like, extra fire damage, basically. Um, I think he's going up into Grodd tier. I don't think he's taking on Grodd's army. I think that's just going to be way too many. I just don't think that he's going to, again, it's the same situation where, like, maybe he could take on 1 or 2 at a time, maybe, but I don't think he is taking on the entirety of Grodd's army, right? Shinji Joseph. Multi-arms, or whatever, I forgot his name. Okay. He has that insane punch thing, right? Basically, he just makes a bunch of fists. Crap, what's his name? His name is Duplo Arms, MHA, like, he has that, special punching attack where he grows just a bunch of arms. So, I'm thinking, I don't think he could take on Grodd. I don't think he has the psychic resistance for that, or the physical durability, but I am thinking he goes up to Psychic Gorilla tier. I'm going to go ahead and move him and Kaminari up to the top of Psychic Gorilla tier, I think. Seto, or whatever his name, Sero, I don't think he takes on Psychic Gorilla tier. I think he goes into regular Gorilla tier. I think he could take on a regular Gorilla. I don't think he's taking on a Psychic Gorilla. He's very mobile, but, like, you know, he's just got, like, he doesn't have the firepower. He doesn't have the attack potency to move up to Psychic Gorilla tier. With how smart the Psychic Gorillas are and their own hacks, I don't think he moves up to Psychic Gorilla tier. Monoma, it depends. Can Monoma copy their psychics? If yes, then I think he's in Psychic Gorilla tier. If no, then I don't think he even makes it to Gorilla tier. Add a row below. And I'm just going to go ahead and call this Bert's own hacks don't. I'm going to call it hacks don't work tier, and I'm going to put Monoma there. Sugar Rush. I think he takes on a Psychic Gorilla because he's extremely strong, but I don't think he has the strength or durability to go up to Grodd tier. That's what I'm thinking. This boy, he is up to Gorilla tier easily because he can talk to animals, but can he control animals? If he can control animals, then I think he might go up to Gorilla City tier. I see a world where that happens. In a life or death situation, he goes up to Gorilla City tier. I think he's taking on the entirety of Gorilla City. I do not think he is going up into Gorilla Extinction tier. Aoyama! He's got a laser? He's got it. There are drawbacks to his laser, though. I'm thinking he goes in Psychic Gorilla tier, because, like, his internal organs actually get damaged if he fires it for too long. In the anime, in the translation, I think it's just a tummy ache, but in the manga, it's actual, like, damage to his organs and stuff, so. This girl, Invisible Girl, she just doesn't have any attack potency. Yeah, I don't think she even takes on... Maybe you can make an argument for Gorilla tier, because, you know, this is superhuman school, but I don't... I'm going to put her in Hacks Don't Work tier. I'm sorry. I don't think invisibility would do anything against psychic gorillas, and I don't think that a normal gorilla wouldn't just wipe her out, you know? This guy... Yeah, no, he's just got a big tail. I don't... He's just about human except for his big tail, which, like, his big tail is strong, but I don't think strong enough to take on an intelligent gorilla. So I'm just going to put him into gorilla tier. This boy! I'm going to put him in Grodd's army tier. I'm thinking he takes on the entirety of Grodd's army. Like, he is actually insanely powerful, but with the caveat that it's only at night where he becomes powerful. Otherwise, I think it's just going to be Psychic Gorilla tier. This is probably... I'm going to put him in Grodd's army because of his potential if he fights them at night. But otherwise, Psychic Gorilla tier. This guy, I don't think he's taking on a Psychic Gorilla. I don't think so at all. He's taking on a regular gorilla though, easily. All Might. I'm going to put him second best in Gorilla City tier. Because Midoriya just upscales from him, right? And it, again, just insanely powerful. Dobby, extremely hot fire, but they burn him. So I'm thinking he is either Grodd's army or Grodd tier before, you know, the kickback from his flames start burning him. Again, I haven't really kept up with MHA. I know little bits and pieces. So if there's any reason at all why you think he should be higher or lower, then please tell me. Gigantomachia. I saw Gigantomachia. I don't think he's the smartest, but I'm thinking he takes on at least Grodd's army. Maybe not the entirety of Gorilla City, but I'm thinking he takes on the entirety of Grodd's army. Star and Stripe. She's another Gorilla City tier. Because she's just, like, insanely powerful, insanely strong, right? I'm thinking just the entirety of Gorilla City tier. She could make a rule in the universe that says every gorillas are weak or whatever. Make them insanely easy. So I'm thinking, actually... Ooh, should I place her above Midoriya and All Might or below? I'll just put below, just to be safe. Small Might. Put him in Hackstone Arc tier, because he's small. Okay, Stain. Stain, extremely fast, very strong, even, very strong for, like, a normal human. And if he manages to get the blood of whatever he's fighting on his knife, then he auto-wins. So I'm thinking he's like top of Grodd tier, but I don't think he's moving all the way up to Grodd's army, just because there's so many Psychic Gorillas in that case. Ida, I think he's fast enough and strong enough to take down a Psychic Gorilla. I'm thinking he has the potential to take down Grodd. That's pretty much where I'm thinking. Yeah. Momo, I'm thinking depends. Like, how all out does she go? Because she could just make a machine gun and take down Grodd's army, but at the same time I don't think they would give her the time. So I'm thinking she moves to the top of Grodd tier. Unless she makes a nuke. In that case, Gorilla City tier. But I don't think she's going to make a nuke, because that would kill her too. Let's see. My wife, I will put her very... just below Momo in Grodd tier. Because she is able to create, like, a lot of force with her legs. so I'm thinking she's near the top of Grodd tier. I don't think she could take on an entire army. Maybe. She has the potential. Maybe. You could make an argument for Grodd's army tier, but I'm thinking Grodd tier. Suyu. Just Su. I'm thinking. I'm not sure. Should she? How does she scale? Okay, do I think that Frog Powers could defeat Grodd in a 1v1? Honestly, I don't think so. Just okay. Endeavor. I'm thinking. Grodd's army too. I think he is below the 3 UA students. Because he is just fire, extremely hot fire, but it is just fire compared to Todoroki and Bakugo and that boy. I forget his name. But yeah, I think he is definitely Grodd's army tier. Let's see, Jiro. Where to put Jiro? I don't think. Okay. How powerful is Heartbeat Distortion? I'm not sure how powerful Heartbeat Distortion is. I'm thinking somewhere in Psychic Gorilla tier. I don't know where yet. I'm going to organize the tiers later. But I don't think she goes into Grodd tier. This guy, I'm thinking either he's either the top of Grodd tier or the bottom of Grodd's army tier. Because he just has he has really good sharp blades and stuff. What? But I'm not sure, would he be able to take on the entirety of Grodd's army? That is the question. Shigaraki, I think, Gorilla City. I'm thinking top of Gorilla City. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking top of Gorilla City tier. Spinner. He's not that strong. I'm going to put him Gorilla tier. I think he could take down a normal gorilla. I don't think he could take down a psychic gorilla though. Teleporting dude. Ooh, who to put? Where to put you? I'm thinking, depending on how he uses his portals, Grodd tier? I'm thinking Grodd tier? Maybe Grodd's army tier? I'm thinking Grodd tier. I don't think that would work more than once. All for one. They scale above gorilla extinction. These guys would upscale from that. So, I'm thinking Gorilla City tier, above Stars and Stripe, but below Midoriya. Overhaul. I think that just given the way his powers work and the things he could do with it. Ooh. Okay, so time to revalue. Gorilla. I'm thinking these three go into Gorilla Extinction tier. I think Star and Stripe gets outclassed by All Might and All for One. Grodd's army tier. Grodd's army. Who's the best suited to take on Grodd's army? Todoroki, then Bakugo, then him, then you, then you. Actually, Gigantomachia, I think, is top of Broad's armor tier. I'm thinking Hawks is bottom of Broad's armor tier. Momo, depending on how she uses her powers, is top of Broad tier. Let's see. I think, yeah, that's accurate. Okay, top slot. Then who would go just below? Okay, who would go just below Momo? I'm thinking Uraraka and therefore Toga. Actually, no, keep her in there. Then Hiroshima above Stain. Aizawa above Stain? Maybe. Who? So, Ida above Stain. Tetsu. Below Aizawa. No, above Aizawa. What am I thinking? Stain is below Tetsu. Aizawa is above this dude. Okay. Let's see. Okay. A-Psychic Gorilla, A-Psychic Gorilla. Kaminari, you go up top. Sugar Rush. This dude, twice. Shinso is probably bottom of Psychic Gorilla tier. Sue is below Aoyama, below Jiro. I think Shinso is above Jiro, below Aoyama. Then Sarah. Okay. This guy, Sarah. Then Mineta, then Spinner. Then Hacks Don't Work tier. We have these three where it's just like I don't think they're taking down even a regular gorilla. Just based on the power, the abilities of their folks. Yes. Okay. I'll take a screenshot of this, then we move on to the next universe versus gorillas. Let me see. What to do? Okay. What should we put up against either regular gorillas or gorilla ground? Let me see what's tier list most voted. It won't let me scroll. Okay. Tier list. What? Let's see. What to do? Map characters, no. Playable characters, no. What to do? Female cartoon, no. Not happening. Not happening on that one. Yep. Let's see. Something I actually know and know well. Dragon Ball. Animals I could kill with my hands. Would you win? Maybe. I don't know. Hear me out. Best video games. Red flags. Last one. This is probably going to be the last tier list of the day. But who to put up against what? Prize tier list. Prize. How well would they do against a gorilla? a regular old silverback gorilla, who wins in the confrontation against fries versus a silverback gorilla? Okay. Again, it's gorilla extinction tier. This is 100 gorillas. This is a 1v1. This is a small fry. You'd need a small fry worth of fries. And this is a large fry. Okay. So, first thing we got, curly fries. Curly fries are the most powerful fries in existence, so I think they automatically go up into gorilla extinction tier. Because what they can do is once the gorillas eat them, the curly fries will just spring out of their bodies, killing them instantly. That is what I'm thinking for the gorilla tier. For gorilla extinction tier, starting off, we have the curly fries. Next, we have the smiley face fries. I think it would take a large fry of the smiley fries in order to take down a single gorilla. Because these are too happy. These are not fighting back unless absolutely have to. And when they do, they're not very effective at it, right? They're not trained soldiers like the curly fries are. So I'm thinking that these go into a large fry. You need a large fry of these in order to actually defeat the gorilla. Next, we have potato wedges. Honestly, I could see the potato wedges going into a 1v1 encounter and coming out on top, but I think it's equally likely that the gorilla defeats the potato wedges by the fact that these are potato wedges and not fully fried fries, right? So I'm thinking this either goes into small fry tier or 1v1 tier. I'm thinking small fry tier. That's what I'm thinking. Next, we have these. These look like, I think those are cheese curds. Cheese curds. Okay. I think the heat within a cheese curd would be enough to melt through a gorilla's mouth and kill them easily. But I don't think you'd be able to use the cheese curd again the same way you could as a curly fry, because the curly fries, they spring back, right? But the cheese curds, they end up cooling down. So I think the cheese curds win the 1v1 against the gorillas. That's at least what I'm currently thinking. Next, let's go with steak fries. Steak fries are incredibly seasoned, and as we all know, animals are weak to seasoning. Like, they just die at the sight of chocolate, right? All the steak fries I've had are incredibly seasoned, so I believe that currently it would take 100 gorillas. It would take as many gorillas as it took to wear away at the seasoning on the steak fry in order to take down 100 gorillas. So I think you could take down 100 gorillas with a single steak fry. Next, we got the sweet potato fries. I think those are sweet. I think those are sweet potato fries. Honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and put them into... Let's see. I think they are going into 1v1 tier. Yeah, I think that you could successfully 1v1 a gorilla with a sweet potato fry. That is what I believe. Just because... just because of the absolute success and love that sweet potato fries get that the gorilla never got from their parents, as you all know. So I think that bypasses, growing up with a loving home bypasses durability feats, because everybody loves the sweet potato fry, but many people are scared of gorillas. So I'm going to put that into 1v1 tier because of the sweet potato buff. Next, we got whatever this is. Was this poutine or something? Poutine. What? Do we have poutine on here? I don't think we have poutine on here. I don't know if this is... I don't think that's poutine. I don't know. Is that syrup? Is that syrup on fries? Is that what poutine is? What is poutine? Fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Okay. Thank God. Thank God Canadians aren't sociopaths. Brown gravy, bud. Yeah. But yeah, poutine. Yeah, I thought... At first glance, I thought it was syrup. So I had to go up here and read it. Maybe I shouldn't trust Google AI overview. Topped with hot brown gravy. Yep, okay. We're all good. We're all good. Everything is A-okay. Everything is as it should be. There is nobody putting syrup on fries. But anyway, so cheese and meats and fries, I'm thinking could potentially 1v1 the gorilla, but maybe you would have... Could be good though, sweet and salty. Yeah, like, you know, sweet and salty is a thing, but like, on fries? Do you really want that starchiness with... Do you really want the starchiness and saltiness of a fry with syrup? Right? Like, I know that there's high fructose corn syrup and stuff, but... Oh god. Starch. Oh, absolutely. My chat is full of sociopaths. First, M brings up, M praises open-air bathrooms, and now I have a chatter. I have a chatter who wants syrup on fries. This is betrayal. Alright. But anyway, moving away from poutine, this is meat, cheese, green onions, and fries. I'm not sure what that white stuff is. So I am currently thinking that because of all the complexities and diversities of the different toppings on top of those fries, I'm thinking you could possibly take down 100 gorillas with one of these fries. I'm not exactly sure, but there is also the problem of maintaining them being put on top of the fries, like making sure they don't fall off between the killing of the 100 gorillas. So actually I'm going to put them in 1v1 tier, but I can see them being moved to 100 gorillas tier if you have a perfectly shaped fry that retains the toppings perfectly. But for now, I think it's only 1v1ing the gorilla, and I don't think you are actually going to be able to move up to 100 gorillas tier without that perfectly shaped fry. Next, we got waffle fries. Waffle fries, they get a similar buff to sweet potato fries and to curly fries, where they are also seemingly like universally beloved, because everybody loves waffle fries. Have you met a person who likes fries who doesn't like waffle fries? They're not common. But I think at the same time they get the same buff as the steak fries, where they can retain a lot of seasoning in order to kill 100 gorillas. So I think those two buffs move it all the way up from 1v1 tier to it could kill 100 gorillas with a single waffle fry tier. I didn't realize how good the Persona 3 soundtrack was. I'm really glad that that's what I have as background music for today. Okay. Next up, we got... Those just look like McDonald's fries. I think those are just McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries, again, they gain like a similar universally beloved tier to sweet potato fries, but they also get it in like a lesser degree because you feel gross after eating McDonald's fries because it implies you got McDonald's, right? So I think that you could potentially get like a small fry of the McDonald's tiers, of the McDonald's fries, a small fry of the McDonald's fry, in order to actually be successful with it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to move it any higher than that. Next, we got garlic fries. Real quaint, I think those are garlic fries. I don't know, last time I had fries that looked like that, they were like coated like in a little bit of garlic. It was great, honestly. And because I like it so much, also, like, again, the seasoning argument, like, these have very clear seasoning. On the steak fries, the seasoning is only implied, because but like you can very clearly see the seasoning. So I think that these actually go ahead and upscale from the steak fries. Let's see. What is this? More like... Oh, those are crinkly fries with cheese, looks like crinkly fries. Okay. They are not as springy as curly fries, but their springiness is not as non-negligible as as like anything else on this list. Like, these are probably the second springiest fries. So I think these get moved up to the top of 1v1 tier in 1v1ing a gorilla. But I don't think that they're going to have the same attack potency as the actual curly fries do. These just look like seasoned potatoes, which is all a fry is, but like, they'll at least put a little more effort into shaping it. I think this is the top of large fry tier. These are, yeah. I don't think either of these are taking down a gorilla on their own. I think it's just going to be one. Okay. Over here, we have fries that honestly do not look very appetizing. They are very dull, and I don't think they're going to have the same fat concentration that the other fries do. So I think they're going to get nerfed hard by that. But there is a lot of surface area to put seasoning, which, as we all know, is the gorilla's greatest weaknesses. So I don't think it gets moved all the way down to large fry tier, but I can make the argument for small fry tier at least. I'm thinking small fry tier. Next, what do we got? I can't release... Oh, these are more crinkle cut fries. Oh, I was judging these crinkle cuts just like off the assumption they were basic crinkle cuts. Okay, these have cheese, so they get moved up a tier, while normal crinkle cuts stay in 1v1 tier. Next, we got these, the fries of chaos. I can't tell what they are, but they look heavily seasoned with a lot of extra crap on top of them. So, you could maybe make an argument for 100 gorillas tier by that logic, but I'm thinking it's going into the similar tier as the cheese, green onions, and meat fries on top. That is what I'm currently thinking. Big fries. These are pretty big fries. That's all I'm going to say. They're not quite as wide or as beloved as the average steak fries. Or I don't even think they're as crispy either. Yeah, I think that bumps it down all the way down to a 1v1 tier. Like, I think these could still potentially take down one of the gorillas, but I don't think it's taking on 100 gorillas like its older brother, the proper steak fry can. And then we move on to our last thing of the day. Our last item on the docket. We move all the way up. These have a very irregular shape. These are like a very... Like, these are kind of Like, they're not nearly as unfried or unseasoned as these, or the McDonald's fries, but I don't think that you can, I don't think that faults them too much because of their unique shape. So I'm thinking that doesn't nerf them, but doesn't help them by a whole lot. So I'm going to put them, you know, I think it actually does nerf them a little bit. Like, you know, just like, obviously, these are not anywhere similar close to the ideal fry perfection of the curly fries. So I think that actually nerfs it a little bit. I'm going to put into small fry tier. You would need a small fry container of them in order to actually kill a gorilla. From here, we go up and we go rank these in order. So I'm thinking the seasoned fries, then the steak fries, then cheesy. I'm thinking cheesy crinkle cut above the waffle fries because these have cheese, and you know most mammals are not made to consume dairy past a certain age, so most gorillas are probably lactose intolerant. So I'm going to go ahead and put those above the waffle fries. Then it's onto normal crinkle cuts. I think that's a fair placement. Then cheese curds. Then sweet potato fries. Then these. I'm thinking... Okay, these are more heavily fried than this, so this gets buffed. Well, these are at the bottom here. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think these are the very bottom of small fry. I think these are the very top of small fry because they have a really good color to them. And there's also ketchup displayed in there with them, so they get the ketchup buff. I'm thinking McDonald's fries also moves down a slot because they're not as fried as the others. And then these look weird, so I'm gonna put them at the bottom. These also look kind of funky, but they're like a more optimal color, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if I should put them, or which one of these two I should put above one another. To be consistent, I'm going to put the more heavily fried ones just above, like at the top of large fry. And then these are weird, I don't know what to say. Yeah. No, that's, that is lightning snipping tool. I'm going to go ahead, snip. And then, honestly, I think that is going to, I think that's going to be the end of stream. Yeah. It was really great having you guys. It was really fun ranking how stock photos, MHA characters, and fries stacked up in their ability to kill gorillas, to fight gorillas. And overall, it was just a really fun time. So thank you guys for joining me. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Streaming tomorrow? No, I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an editing day for me. I'm going to... I'm deciding whether or not to cut this stream up first, or my Cyberpunk stream up first to get those clips out, you know? Versus getting, like, a full video out. Because I think this was kind of my first attempt at making a video. At making something made for video. Alright. Bye, guys. Hope you had fun. Bye.